There we go. There we go. Now I can see. And hopefully you can all see what I'm painting. And if anyone's painting along, I'll give everyone a few more minutes to join since we're starting late. And I feel like I'm talking to myself, but that's all right. How is everyone's Saturday night going? Well, all right. So I guess I shall go over materials of what I have and the colors that I will be using. However, colors are always optional. You can use however you want to use your own colors. Your mermaid can be rainbow colored if you want. I'm probably going to make her tail purple because, you know, that is my color and it is my favorite. You can also make your sunset a different color if you choose. I'm probably going to do the purple that you see because it goes very well with her purple tail. And yeah, so let's see. So I have first, of course, my water cup, not to be confused with the drinking water cup. This is the paint water cup. And I have lots of brushes that I've purchased myself. I will tell you which brushes you want to use at which point as we go. And I also got new brushes from my brother and sister-in-law and my nephew because it was my birthday this week. And so they bought me brushes and paint, which is perfect for paint night. I have brushes, I have lots of paint in lots of colors that we probably not use all of it, but definitely lots of colors. Plus the paint I already had. And then of course the canvas is here to start with. And that's most of it that I've got for supplies. Hopefully you all have your supplies as well and can join us in painting or join, you know, colouring or drawing, however you want to do it. Or just watch and hang out because it's Saturday night and we're having a good time, right? So, I think that, oh, actually, I forgot to even talk about snacks because snacks are important when we're doing paint night and drinks. Tonight I just am drinking water. I don't know what anyone else is drinking, but I'm drinking water, and I did to get more of the caramel maple bourbon pecan pie ice cream because, again, it was my birthday and I felt like ice cream was warranted. And so we're gonna do this trick. I just put it in my lovely, wonderful pirate cup with my favorite stickers. So you can have some ice cream. Does anyone else have any good snacks that they're enjoying on Saturday or good drinks that they're drinking? I don't see anyone in the chat, but that's all right. Hopefully they'll join. I know we got off to a late start and a little bumbling today, but I think that I shall start painting the water very shortly and give everyone a chance to join in if they're coming. If not, everyone can watch on rewatch and paint with us. And then hopefully, once you've done, if you've painted or you've colored or you've just drawn along, however you choose, you could share with us in the Discord so we can all see that, you know, what creations you've done. I love to see other people's art. So, I eat some ice cream first. Give everyone time to come in. I think my ice cream's gonna melt again. All right. So, what I'm first going to do, I think, is make the water. Now, I'm not sure what color I want to do the water, because initially I was going to do the lovely teal, because it's a gorgeous color, it's very tropical, and perfect for pirates. However, I also got these lovely new paints, and there's a pretty blue in here, so I almost want to try that. We could layer it with the dark blue if we wanted. So I might, I don't know, I'm so torn. If I want to do teal, like the others, or blue. I could blend them. We could blend tonight. I think we could. Oh dear, except that's purple and not teal at all, so that would be a very different ocean. Perhaps a more magical one. So I'm gonna go with, I think, I'm gonna do dark blue, and then I'm gonna do some teal and kind of mix it and see how it goes. So we have to open it. And put it on your palette if you have one, or just the table. As you can see, I did some painting the other night and I just popped it on my drop cloth, because, or paper, whatever, why not? But I do have this lovely well used, let's see how much paint we get on ourselves tonight, well used palette for my painting, and we're gonna try and kind of make it a nice teal blue ocean. I'm going to put our brush in. We're going to use our big, sorry, I should tell you what brush we're using. I'm going to use my large brush that's flat. Makes the best for the big kind of swatches that you're going to do when you're doing your backgrounds, any big coverage that you want. So I'm just going to take that on my brush and start. Oh, I didn't pick my... Sometimes I don't think this through always. So we want to make a horizon line, and I guess the water's going to be about here, I think. No, I guess I did it up to here. So we'll do across. You just pick where you want your line to be, and you're just going to start painting. Just kind of smack it on there, you know? It doesn't have to be perfect. Gonna look how it's gonna look. I like this blue with the teal mixed in. It's kind of a really nice oceany tropical color. Oh dear, can you hear me all right? It looks weird. It said it was exited host mode, so we're just having a comedy of errors, but I'm glad you're here and I'm excited for this one too. Good, good, good. I love mermaids. We'll see how this one turns out. The mock-up was a little out of proportion, but I think we can tweak it tonight and make it look good. I picked a different blue. To blend in with the teal, just so we can change it up a bit, because we've had teal water for 3 weeks or 2 weeks, so I thought maybe we would do a darker color, a more blue, as it were. So you're just, you know, just kind of brushing it on, smacking it. You don't, again, it depends. You don't always want to go over it too many times, because some people don't like a lot of brush strokes. I don't think it looks terrible if you have a lot of brush strokes. So it's kind of personal choices that you make, as you always do with painting. Oh, I need more blue. Getting into my teal here, which is fine. I like that mixture together, really, actually. I'm glad I chose that and ventured out into my new paints. I need a little more blue. Yep. And then I think what we'll do is we'll kind of blend in some teal at different points into the water. I'll give it a little more dimension, I think would be nice than we have before. You're just gonna get your whole background covered. Yes, Kat says she likes the new blue too. I think it was a good choice. And a little bit different. I don't know if you were on earlier, but I was actually saying that I got one of my birthday gifts from my brother and my sister-in-law and my nephew were this lovely box of paint. So I got a lot more paint because I was running out anyway of my good paints, so it's perfect. And I got more brushes, so I now have all of the brushes I could want or need, possibly ever, maybe. So just do your background, your blue. You can do your sides now. You can always do, I also got bath bombs, which I'm very excited about too, because they all smell very lovely. So we have our blue water in our background. I'm going to let that dry for a few minutes, but not too much yet, because I do want to pull in some of the teal, I think, for a bit of dimension. I was also talking about snacks earlier while we wait for it to dry, Kat. I don't know if you have any good snacks you've got yourself for tonight on your Saturday night, or if you're just watching. I've got that maple bourbon pecan ice cream again, which is so good. You have one more Cadbury egg for your game. Ah, that's fair. Cadbury eggs are very good. You're playing from 8 to 1. Oh, in the morning? My goodness. I say that, except I know that I will probably also be awake till that time, because that's just my life now. Alright. And Cadbury eggs are a good snack too. I'm just gonna pull a little bit. I'm not gonna do a lot of it because I don't want to cover it up, but I'm just gonna pull some teal in here. Just for a little bit of dimension and highlight, perhaps. We're very late. Last night, murder, mystery, and ghost story ones. Oh wait, I read 2 things ahead, sorry. Your game went to 2:30. That's, wow. I mean, I was also up till that late, but it's, it was late. And the late night murder, mystery, and ghost story. I love that. That's awesome. Murder, mystery, and ghost stories are a perfect way to spend your evenings, even if they go till that late. It's amazing. Too late. Do not socialize that late in Pandorama days. That's true, yes. It is, it's rough. That late. Oh, hello. You just joined. We're glad you're here with us. Paints or not. There's not enough sobriety at your place to find the paints. That's fair. Saturday nights are good for, you know, drinking too. What are you drinking? Oh no. I'll paint on my hat now. That's not supposed to happen. There's one thing on the shirt already. Alright, so we're gonna let our ocean dry. We're gonna start, I think, on our, it's getting real wavy tonight. Good old rum. Something cheap. Hey, that's fair too. All rum, well, not all rum is good rum, but rum is rum. And However you like to enjoy it, cheap or no. Nothing wrong with that. So, at this point, I'm going to work on our sky. I don't know how we are on time. So we started late, but I'm going to do the sky purple because I like that purple. It's just how it goes. Oh no, I forgot. We have to do our moon first. But if you notice, I did borrow the background because I had already had it kind of painted out when I did our other mermaid, and I like how it goes together. So we're going to do the same background. Rum is rum. Yes, Kadarja says, 'tis unfortunate the more expensive rums are much better, but that's the nature of the beast. Aye, that is very true. It is indeed. So we're going to paint our moon. So I need some paper towels for when we're changing color. And for this one, we're going to need our white and a little bit of our yellow to make... Oh yes, Kadorjo, I did just do the water, and thank you very much. I actually used new paints that I have and changed the blue up a little bit. So I appreciate that. It is, I like how it looks. I did, however, put most of my blue all over my palette, which is going to be an issue for mixing colors, but we'll figure it out. So for the moon, we're going to take white and a little bit of yellow to make that kind of yellowy white, and then we'll add in some shading to it. If I'm going too fast or too slow, just let me know in the comments. Oh, well, thank you. Big fan of my hat. It is my favorite hat. At some point, I probably will change it up, but my favorite part is the accoutrements, so they can always go to a new hat. But thank you. Oh, that's probably more yellow than I wanted, but we'll make do. It'll work. So you're just put in some yellow and some white together. We're going to make a very light yellow for the moon. I just pull that in. I'm going to move it. Oh gosh. It's going to be a very yellow moon, which is all right. That happens sometimes. You know, the moon can be all colors. And then this is the point where you can either choose to kind of pencil out your moon or just do it freehand. I'm going to try to maybe do it with a pencil. I'm not a big planner when I paint. Gonna do our moon. Just kind of like a big half circle, halfway tucked there in the ocean behind the horizon there. And then you're gonna take your yellow and just do it in circle round. It's very yellow, but that's all right. And then actually I'm going to put more white because as we get inwards it should be more white. Kind of blend it out. Into a very light yellow. Oh no, well my ocean was not dry quite yet, so it got into the moon. That's all right. And we can also lighten, here's a tip, is if you mix a color, or you don't even mix it, you want to kind of blend the colors together, you can do so on the canvas if you're wanting to, and you kind of put while it's still wet, just blend in the next color to lighten it up. That's what I'm doing here. But you also don't want to do too much blend in because then it'll just mud into one color. So do our very light yellow here in our half circle moon. And I'm just going to pull in some straight white here and blend. Don't know why it's going on there like that, but that's all right. It's going to look how it's going to look. So there's our moon. I think I'm content with the color. I need some more white in the middle though, because I think I've missed color in some of it. And just kind of in a circle, put your paint on there. Now blend it however much you want to blend it to make your moon look however yellow or white that you want it to. So there's our moon, and while we're doing this, while it's still a little wet so it blends nicely, we're going to pull a little bit of gray into it. Now, I'm going to see if my new paints have a gray. If not, we will just make a gray with a little bit of black and white. There's a lot of vibrant colors in these paints. Where's Mars Black? That's a fun name. Burnt Umber. I've got browns, but no gray. I think I shall have to make a gray, which is perfectly good too. Sorry. Alright. So we'll just use a little bit of the black, and we're going to mix it with a lot of white so we can make a grey and make our shadows on our... Ooh, it'd help if I opened the paint. Make our shadows on our moon. Way too much black. Oh well. I don't have good control and I'm just squirting the paints everywhere. I need like 5 palettes when I do this, I think, because just take up the whole thing with the paints and make an entire mess, as I'm doing now. There's going to be paint everywhere. That's also why I'm wearing my painting shirt. So we made a nice, I'll show you on the palette. You can see I did way too much of the black and squirted out. But right here, it's kind of, I mixed it and made a very, like a gray. Make it a little blacker. And now I can kind of go in and dot the shadows on the moon. It's way too much of it though. That's a lot. And you just kind of stipple wherever you want the shadow to be. Or the holes in the moon, whatever we're calling that. And then actually I'm going to blend it a bit more. Just dot, 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 stipple, 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 stipple. Good little blend in, so stipple in. And there's our moon. Oh, I like it. I actually kind of like this moon. It is very yellow, but in some places the moon is, you know, believed to be made of cheese. So, of course, it would be yellow. Alright, so we're going to leave the moon be there. I'm going to wash that brush. And let it dry for a bit, I think, before we go into the sky. We do still have to do I want to leave enough time for this mermaid because I think she's going to be a bit tricky, but I'm excited for her. So we shall see. So I've cleaned my brushes because I let them sit in the water for a little bit, but I don't really want to let them sit too long in the water because it can kind of mess up the bristles, and it can loosen up the, you know, where it attaches to the stick. Very words. I know lots about painting. Not really. Ah, yes, Kadarjo, very smart to do that. Ruined brushes in the past. Yes, I have also done that, and in previous lives, working in a place where we were painting a lot with younger nipperkins who did not want to wash their brushes, we've gone through lots of brushes ruined by sitting in the water for too long. I forgot this one had nuts in it, but that's why it's probably called pecan. Alright, so what I think, I need to find something else to mix on, because I have covered my palette at this point with blue and yellow, but I'm going to need a lot for the purple. But while it dries, we can chat again now that more people have joined us, hopefully, you know, about how our Saturday night is going, or our week, and, you know, if you've got any good snacks or ice cream. I debated on my ice cream choices because being it was my birthday, I decided I kind of wanted like the birthday cake ice cream, but then I decided I didn't want that, and I would go with this caramel maple bourbon pecan pie because it has protein in it and less calories, so it's a little healthier, and I can eat the whole thing and not feel as bad as if I were to eat the whole thing of a different one. So, trying to find balance there. Does anybody else have any snacks or drinks? Anybody else, you know, anything fun happening this weekend? That they're doing? While we wait for this part to dry. Actually, I can help it dry. Burgers with bacon and peanut butter. That sounds very good. Well, yes. My sister-in-law has made that for my brother before, and I've heard good things. It's an interesting mixture, but I'm sure it tastes very lovely. I had leftover fettuccine Alfredo from my birthday dinner. That was very good. And alright, so let's do purple. I can't remember if we decided it was good to go out and in. Yeah, I think that's the better way. If we start at the outer circle. Oh yes, Kadarjo likes fettuccine Alfredo too. I do. I was having a hard time deciding what I wanted, and then I decided on fettuccine Alfredo with broccoli and cream cheese wontons, but vegetarian. I do have the luck of having a father who is a chef, so he made both of those things for me, and they were very good. I could eat fettuccine Alfredo all day, every day. Probably. willing to bet that pirates, just like they love ice cream, probably also pirates love pasta. Also, that just sounds kind of cool. Alright, so for the background, I'm going to do the darker purple. And again, you can choose whatever color you want for your background. I like purple for it. I could have done a more pink, but purple's what's happening. So whatever color you choose, you want to do the darkest first. And I am using again my big flat paintbrush for this because we're covering a larger point of space on the canvas and we're not doing details and we're blending a bit. So you get the dark color, mine is purple, dark purple, on your brush, and just we're gonna kind of start at the bottom here and go, oh Lord, not that way. I'm not doing it like that. Hold on, I have to fix this. Tonight is a little wonky. So let's see. How can I make that? What did I do last time? Start at our horizon line and just kind of make a big half circle again, like your moon. And just kind of blend it out to the edges. Because again, you're doing your dark on the edges. I'll probably even do darker, I think, as the real edges, but we'll start here. And just kind of fill in your half circle that you made. I guess it's more than a half circle. It's kind of half in the ocean there. And I'm definitely going to put more layers on this because it's not doing quite the coverage I would like. So, but the beauty of paint is you just keep going. And you can just add it as you go, as much as you want. I know with oil paints there's a lot more layering I think goes on, but I don't know how to do those. So, we'll stick with our acrylics. I'm going to go a little easier on this horizon line because I don't want it to run into my ocean. I do want it to be a little detailed there. That will just make me annoyed with my painting skills. But I'm practicing my own rules that we're nice to ourselves about what we're painting because it's for fun and it doesn't have to be perfect. So just kind of fill my background in here with the dark purple. And then come back and make that corner darker too, I think, with I'll probably mix in some black. For your outer rung there. And then you can do your sides and your top if you want now. Or you can do those afterwards. It's really, really personal choice. I'm going to do them now because I want them to be the same color. And I don't want to have to go back into this color once I've painted the whole thing. Run into the ocean a bit. Oh, and I've got paint on myself already. I think at the end of this thing will just be a great, like, painting shirt. Like, it'll just be spattered in paint. And it'll be my pirate paint shirt. Because look. I got blue on me. Alright. So we've done that one. Our next kind of rung around the moon. Oh no! What happened? The stream is interrupted. It still shows me I'm here. Is it still interrupted? Oh, alright. It might be mine too. I don't know. I'm having bloopers tonight. It's just the kind of night I guess it is. Is it? So I guess I'm back then if you can hear me. Let me touch this up a little. Alright, so then I'm going to use this one. This is my lighter purple that I've picked, and it is Lavender Fields. Oh, it glitched when I showed my sleeve. I'll show it to you again. It's a very little bit of blue I've already got on myself. So I think by the end I shall be covered in paint in this shirt. So this is Lavender Fields. The painting looks great so far. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, the background is pretty good. We'll see. Hopefully we don't mess it up when we get to the mermaid. Lavender Fields is the lighter purple that I like. So I'm gonna get, oh gosh, way too much of that. It's just how my night's going. It is well. And we're gonna bring it into the next, you know, just another rung around. For layers, we'll come back with some white, I think, to really lighten this up. We don't want too much paint on our brush. We can spread it, but you don't want globs. Also, it won't dry as well, and we're doing layers, so we need it to kind of dry so we can not have to wait 20 minutes for our background, you know, to once we get to our mermaid. So you just, you know, bring it around, blend it a little, but again, not blending too much because then it just gets muddy. See, it's already blending in. I'm going to have to do some highlight, I think, with a light purple there. So we'll just kind of blend in. Do our next rung. Again, I've made it, oh dear, I'm gonna have to go over that now. Then we'll mix. Oh, Kat's here. Good, you're still here. Just lurking. You gotta get your evil countess on. Oh, for the thing tonight. I'm excited to see that. I liked your other ones. And I appreciate you lurking and being here with us on this messy paint night that I've created. Alright, LARP time. We'll have fun. And I very much enjoyed seeing the portraits already, so I hope to see more. So we're moving to our next rung, which we're going to make even lighter. So I'm going to just take this light purple that we did here and mix it with the white that I put here, which is good why I had so much. And then, so let me just scoop this white to make a lighter purple for the next rung. Maybe not that light. And just kind of mix it in your square or whatever you're mixing on. It doesn't even have to be fully mixed because once it's on the canvas, we're going to blend too. So blend, blend, blend. So I'm going to put the lighter color now. And spread it out. Again, I put a lot on. I didn't mean to, so I want to spread that so it doesn't take forever to dry. And just kind of make it, you know, a big half rungs circle. can blend in. I'm gonna put a little up here, I think, to blend a little more. Alright, that got a little wild, but that's alright. So we're almost done our background. And so what we'll do now is make it even lighter, almost white. I'm gonna just even this out a little because that's gonna irk me. My nerves a bit. We're gonna make this one almost like a white, very, very light purple or lavender. So I'm just gonna take a little of the purple that I created and I'm gonna dunk it into the white that's here, but I have to be careful because I put it really close to the black and I don't want black in there. Not. Hopefully that's enough. So I've created, let me show you, a very light purple for the inner rungs. And then we're just gonna kind of carefully go around your moon. Oh my gosh, I'm using so much paint tonight that I don't mean to. Hold on. You want to spread it out again because you don't want big chunks of paint places. So just spread it. Do your light purple here. And then on that very inner rung, we're going to do a white. Like super, super light purple. Like I'm going to leave the purple on my brush and I'm going to pick up a lot of white. Oh dear, that was black. Hold on. And I'm just going to kind of come in and fill this rung here. Spread this out around the moon. This will be good because it'll cover up our pencil spots. You know, our pencil markings. And just blend it a little, not overly a lot. And we can leave it like that. And I think that has completed our background. I'm gonna, actually I said that, but I'm not gonna, it's not done. I'm gonna take, now, I'm gonna take some of the black and I'm gonna mix it with the purple for the edges to make it very dark, to really make the layers pop a little more in our background. In our sky, as it were. So take a little black, mix it with the dark purple to make it darker, maybe a little more black. So I'm mixing here to make it very dark. And then I'm just gonna not put so much because I really am getting a lot of paint today. It's very thick. And just do the edges a little darker. Kind of to fill those in a little bit. Maybe just add a little dark here to blend it more. And I think that's good. I think we shall leave it that way. We shall let it dry. Wash our brush because we're done with the purple. And we're gonna have to, I am gonna go over a little more of this where I've messed up our ocean line a bit, so I'm gonna pull some of the blue back in to kind of fix it. Again, not about being perfect or looking, you know, perfectly, but just to give it that little detail and be a little smoother is what I'm doing. Just sorting out where I messed it up a bit. There. And now our background is good. And I'll wash that one too and leave it there for a few minutes. We're gonna have to chat for a bit because the background needs to dry before we can put the mermaid on it. So there's that, which gives time for me to eat my ice cream. And I'm also going to check the time to see where we're at. I don't want to go over because I feel like this mermaid's going to be a bit... Oh, we've got lots of time. Perfect. Wonderful. We're like halfway there, which is good because we're halfway into our portrait. We have our background, our moon and our sky and our ocean. And then we shall attempt the mermaid. Excuse me. Does anyone have any thoughts or ideas of what we should paint if we do any more of these? Because I know we've done our ship with the palm trees, and then we did our parrot in the sunset last time. Now we're gonna work on the mermaid. So I don't know what else we could do. I guess we could attempt a rum shark. I did do that. I could probably teach it. I don't know. I guess, you know, if anyone has ideas and wants to throw them in the Discord or in the chat of what we could paint on future streams, let me know and I can see about coming up with something. Because I enjoy these painting times, because I like painting and I've, you know, enjoying kind of fumbling through trying to teach other people to paint. But I want to think about what for next time. And I guess while we're waiting for it to dry too, I can show you the mermaid that I did the other day, kind of as the mock-up that we're using for inspiration. And I think tonight I'm going to work on just a little differently for her scales, so they're scales and not just dots. And just maybe work on her proportions better. But I am pleased mostly with her and how she came out, so we'll see how tonight's come out. And then if anyone's there that wasn't here before wants to see, we did do our ship. Oh, you can't see the ship today. I will share the ship because the ship is still one of my favorites. We did our ship in our first paint night with our palm trees that are a pain to paint, but they came out in the end because sometimes you gotta trust the process, right? And then of course last time we did our lovely parrot, and I have forgotten his name, but we gave him a lovely fun name with help from the chat. Is our green parrot in the sunset. I'm partial to him. So, oh, thank you, Kadarja. It looks so good. I was very pleased with it. I'm also very pleased with this background, and sometimes this is my problem with painting, is that I will paint backgrounds of things that I like, and I will very much enjoy the background, and then I don't want to paint anything on it because I'm afraid I'm gonna mess it up, and then, you know, I've ruined what I've done. But tonight we were painting a mermaid, so it's fine. I don't think I have anything that's backgrounding, that's just background down here that I could share, but those were all of our previous paint night paintings that we did while we're waiting for this to dry. If anybody has anything they wanted to share about, I don't know, how their weekend's going, if you have any fun weekend plans. I know it's not really a themed weekend. It's not like when we painted for Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day is over. But it's springtime, so maybe some good outdoor time. I don't know. Not now. Oh, we won't be able to see it, but I wonder if my wild cat neighbor will join us again, creeping at my window like last time. That was fun. I think he just wants his own stream. I'm rambling now. Quick, somebody put something in the chat so I don't have to ramble. I'll let this dry. All right. It's not quite time to do our next, just, it's a little tacky. We'll give it another minute or two to kind of dry. I'm going to blend it more so it'll dry quicker. I did put a lot of paint on there today. Giorgio said, pirate painting, is there a history there? Pirate art of some kind? I'm sure there is, but I am not the history pirate, so I would have to find that out, I guess, and look more into it. We don't have our history mate here. He could tell us probably. I'll look it up for next paint night. But I'm sure there were paintings, you know, and other things that people did on the ships, and made some sort of art. I feel as though I did read somewhere that there was theater-esque shenanigans that went on the ship. They would act out things for each other. Maybe more carvings and trinket making. Yes, I think that was correct. Probably a lot more carvings that went on, or making things, or scrimshaw sorts of things that went on, in more so than painting per se, except for painting the ship, and someone had to paint the figurehead, so someone had to paint her too. So I imagine there was painting that happened on that. Theater, oh man, I can only imagine. Yes, I'm not 100% verified that that's fact, but I did read about it, so I like to imagine it's what happened. Until someone corrects me. Alright, I'm gonna spread. I really did do a lot of paint on this. So cleaning my brushes. But yeah, I think theater on a ship would be a lot of fun. I mean, we do shows in our pirate crew. We like to entertain each other and everyone else. It's a good time. Alright, I think it's safe for us to attempt this mermaid. I have to remember how I did it. Let's see. Need my pencil, because I'm actually going to draw this out before I paint her. I think I dropped it. There it is. Alright, so I'm going to have my back to you for just a few minutes so I can draw out the mermaid. Daughter said, is there a specific tool that you recommend for cleaning brushes? No, I don't often. I just honestly get a cup and I put water in it, and then I just dunk them while I'm so I do it in 2 steps if I'm not being lazy. And no, Captain, you did not miss painting the ice cream. I didn't do that yet. I did paint my hat, but I got it off before it stayed. And I painted my shirt too, so things got painted that weren't the canvas, as is always wont to happen. But so for cleaning brushes, I don't really use any specific tools, really just water. And I'll put it, you know, in the water cup, and then in towels to to dry it off while I'm painting, and then when I'm done painting I will run them underwater to really get the paint out so that nothing dries in there, so they don't get ruined. Some people have a drying rack for them, you know, with clips, because it's good if you're really washing them and want to dry them out to preserve them really well. Especially if you have really, really nice brushes, you can get, you know, hang them upside down so all the water comes out and doesn't settle in this parts of it. But I often don't do that. I just rinse them really well and then put them in cups to hold. So hopefully that answers your question about cleaning brushes, because I don't do it that fancy. But no paint and ice cream. I did have ice cream though. I have my maple bourbon pecan. Oh, ahoy Kitty Rin, welcome. We've got Captains here and Kodarjo. Tonight we're painting mermaid. I don't know why I made that plural, because we're not painting more than one. We're painting one mermaid on a rock. We have made it as far as our background of ocean and moon. Thank you for joining us. I'm so glad, you know, for everyone that has come in. Welcome. You have an antique Chinese drying rack. Oh, that's a good one too. That's, yeah, I was just saying that some people, you know, would have things and actually dry the brushes on a rack. I don't, but I probably should. That sounds really awesome though. All right, so we're going to draw our mermaid. I'm going to start, actually I think I'm going to start with her tail, because I think that's where I ran into some problems when I did my mock-up before. So I'm going to start with her tail so I don't run out of room, and then we'll build up from there with her top and her hair. So we're going to kind of put her like right in the middle of the moon. Yes, it does sound very classy, and I think probably the best way to do it to have. Tia-Rain was doing bamboo but goofed up, so you're going to abandon it. Like you were painting with bamboo, or you're making brushes out of bamboo? Or you were painting bamboo? Alright, so we're going to paint our mermaid right in the middle here. And we want her sitting on the rock. Using butcher paper, so no loss. Oh, that's always a good thing, is kind of doing it on the butcher paper. You can just get rid of it. I had another portrait that I was painting a picture of bamboo. All right. That probably came out really nicely. But yeah, butcher paper, or otherwise you can always redo or paint over if you don't like it. But I'm sure it still looked great. I think we're our own worst critics sometimes. So we're just going to draw her kind of sitting down. I'm gonna put a lot of paint on here. Not going to be able to see what I'm drawing here, but... I'm just going to have to paint her. We're not drawing. I'm just going to have to see how it goes. So, I'm going to use my new brushes. I think I have a detail brush in here. Yes, I do. We've got new merch in the chat, if you ever want to check that out. So I'm going to use, I think for the tail, since it won't show up what I was going to try to pre-draw, is just this little kind of detail brush that's also kind of a flat brush, so it'll give us a good edge for our detail, and we'll see how it goes. I use the dark purple because that's what I've chosen my tail to be. Obviously, it is up to you how you choose you want your tail to look. It does not have to be purple. It can be any color you want, or mixture of colors. I'm just gonna kind of bring her out here. She's sitting. And then her tail. Let's see. I'll just kind of bring this around for her knee, not her knees because she has a tail. The knees of her tail. I don't know what you call that for mermaids, but bring it in here. So there's our beginnings of our tail there, however, you know, and it's alright if it doesn't look exactly like that. I want to bring this up for her waist a little more, I think. That was kind of wide. And then you can decide how you want her fins to go. I did kind of a angel fishy kind of on the last one. And let's think about how I want to do this one. There's her one fin, however you want yours to look, but just kind of, you know, painting your lines out to look however. And curved up there. And then we're going to do her other fin here and see how that turns out. I think it's going to run into the bottom a little. Didn't fully plan for that, but that's alright. Because it's just off deeper into the ocean. So there we have her tail painted out. Then I think what we'll do is we'll do her body and her hair. Well, no, we should do her hair last, I think. We'll do her body and then we'll go in and fill in the tail. And then we'll do her hair and then the scales. So, let's see. I've done that. Kind of done my outline of the tail. Now for the skin, you know, for her body part, you can... For the top half of the mermaid, you can choose how you want, you know, again, this is all a choose your color, however you want to do it. You know, just pick whatever color you want her skin to be and paint it. So I'm going to get another one of the, actually I'm going to use the same brush because that worked very nicely for an outline. I think. Let's see what time it is. Alright. I'm going to chat less and paint more. So I'm going to use out of my new paints here. I think a nice kind of light brown is this one. Just to change it up a bit because, you know, mermaids are diverse. And also I have a lovely metallic that'll go over it that'll look really nice, I think. So you put whatever color you choose on your palette for the body or the top half. And just go ahead and get it using, again, I'm using this thin flat brush for detail for the edges. And I'm kind of just going to bring up this line where her tail ended to do her body. Let's see if I can get the proportions right. People are a little bit hard to paint for me. That's why I paint other things. But this was a venture out of comfort zone a little bit, which you got to do sometimes. And so see how it goes. So bring her body up here. And she's facing away from us mostly, but not completely. So I'll just, oh, I made her too short again. And her waist come in, just another line there for that. We're going to connect it all and fill it in, and then the hair will cover any parts that don't come, you know, they get a little wonky. That's okay. I'm working on her top half now. And then we're going to put, this is her arm. I just draw a line down here for her arm. I do her shoulder. I'm not going to overly worry about it though, because the hair is going to go over it. So put her shoulder. And just kind of come in a little for her. Oh Lord, maybe not that much come in. And give her a very buff arm. You know, that's women. And bring her arm down a little. And then kind of what we're going to do, we're not going to get real detailed with the hand. Literally, if you look at the other one, you can see we'll just do the outline of her hand on the rock. You know, just whoop, like that. So we'll just kind of like that. And again, we can clean it up as we go. This is just for the outline. I think it looks pretty decent though. And we'll do the other arm. I think I've got my all right. So a little more of the color you're using. And this arm's going to be, where's her shoulders? She'll come across, make, you know, kind of line it up like that. And then bring it down in front of her tail. I made her back weird. That's weird. Hold on, I gotta fix it. And kind of come in a little at the wrist there. We'll fix it as we go. But there's our outline. I think her proportions are already looking better than they did. Just blend out this curve. I don't know why I did that, because it's her back, not her front, not her boobies. So I'll bring this up a little. Now what I'm going to do different than what I did when I did my mock-up is I'm going to fill in the outline first, and then I will do her hair over top, because I ran into a little trouble there on the last one. So once you've got your outline and you're satisfied for the most part with how it looks, you're going to take a bigger brush, because otherwise we would be here all night. And I like the flat brushes for filling in. Let me just find a flat brush that I want to use. That's the right size and not too big. Let's see. This one, I think. So I've got this one as kind of a medium flat brush, like I've used in the other parts of it. And I'm just going to go ahead, since I already have the body painted out. I'll do that. Fill it in. You're just painting in your lines, filling it in. It doesn't want to go over the moon, but that's alright. We can do multiple layers. And I also have a lovely metallic paint I'm going to put over top. So I'm not super worried that it's not, you know, complete coverage here. And I'm also going to go in and put my outline back on. Just trying to smoothly apply it. Get her shoulder and her arm here. It looks a little weird, but that's alright. We'll fix it. Or we won't, and it'll just be weird. Alright, so now that I have her proportions are super weird now. Hold on. Well, I think once I paint it out and I put the... I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna do her hair. And then we'll go in and fix it. Actually, what I'm gonna do now is her tail. Excuse me. Since we outlined with the dark color, I'm going to go in and do the lighter color on the inside. But I'm going to darken it up from where we were, because I made a very, very light purple. I'm going to make it darker. Like, not quite the dark we just had, but, you know, somewhere in the middle. I'm just mixing up. I'm going to use this kind of a purple here for the inside. Maybe a little lighter. I have a lot on my brush, so I'm going to take some of that off, because it's going to go on too much. And just fill in for her tail. It just became very light purple, but that's alright. Paint is really going on thick tonight. I don't know why. Too much of it on my brush, I guess. And we're gonna go in and add details and shadowing as, you know, once we get the base down. I'm just going to fill it in with whatever color you've decided her main color for her tail is going to be. My brush kind of picked up some of the darker purple, but that's alright because it's kind of blending in nicely with it. I'm giving it a little more depth. So it's just kind of our first layer. Here, we'll let that dry and then we'll add in, you know, another layer because you can see the blue still kind of through it, so we don't really want that. And then we'll go back and outline. So there is our base layer for our tail. I'm going to just adjust this a little because it made it a little bit wonky. Or one side is smaller. I'm going to fix it. There we go. I'll go back and outline where I've covered up. So there's her kind of base layer there. I'm going to let that dry for a moment before I do any more layers. And then I think I shall go back and you know, we'll do the metallic over her body, and then we'll tackle her hair, and then we'll add in the more detail for the tail. Oh, and then the rock, because right now she's just sitting in the ocean. So for the rock, I'm gonna go back to my other brush that I like. A little flat detail brush. That's not it. There we go. Maybe it's this one. Nope. And I'm just gonna freehand the rock because, like, it's a rock, so it's okay if it's free-handed. But I'm gonna need a darker color for that. Actually, I'm gonna do the black for the outline of the rock. I'm just gonna kind of do it around her. Like, here we go. Just however rocks look. There's our outline for our rock. And then we'll leave that be. We'll come in and fill it in with like the dark brown once I get the rest. Well, we could do that now. So I'm going to use the dark brown for the rock. And maybe pull in some gray. I'm not really washing my brush in between of this because it was black and now it's brown. It's not a big deal. So just filling in our rock here with a dark brown. Obviously, if you want a gray rock, you can make a gray rock. I just chose brown. Be mindful of your mermaid. Don't want to paint over her. You don't want to paint over her booty like I just almost did. Yes, Captain, yes. Texture is good. I'm not always good at texture, but texture helps add depth and really make your paintings pop a little more. Oh my gosh, her arm is so weird. I can't wait to paint the hair over it. So just filling in here, however, you know, your rock turned out. It's all right. Still using my medium flat brush because, you know, there's details to fill in here. I maybe should have painted the rock first, but that's all right. And just whatever order you choose to paint your mermaid on a rock here. Just kind of filling in. Again, doesn't have to be perfect because you want depth and you want texture a little bit. Rocks are often not smooth, especially super random ones in the middle of the ocean. That always just happen to be there perfectly for mermaids to sit on. Maybe they just carry their own rocks, right? And they just like magically, there's my rock to sit and watch the ocean with. Just an idea, I don't know. Somebody could write it. So there's our rock. I will go back in at the end, very end. I'm gonna put outlines on everything. It'll look better. This might be a merman. It could be whatever you want it to be. Mermaids can be mermen, binary. I don't know the right what you would call that. Mer people can be however they are. So I'm gonna pull back in some more, now that the tail has dried a bit, I'm gonna pull back in some more of the purple to cover this blue. I only put it on kind of thin before. So just filling in your mermaid's tail, however, you know, add in another layer to it here so you don't see the background behind it. I'm doing a little bit more of the darker on the edge to give it some shadow here. And then blend. That's pretty good. So I'm going to wash the purple off. You can wash your purple color now if you'd like. I'm going to try to hurry up because I think we're running short on time. Yes, we have 20 minutes. So I'm going to pop in the hair and then maybe some of the details. And try not to go over. Alright, so for the hair, this just gets kind of fun. Because it's not, you don't have to detail it. Now, if you wanted it to be more smooth flowing, you can do that. I preferred curly because, you know, curly's fun and I have curly hair. So I basically took some of the black And I'm gonna make her hair kind of like black, brown, and like teal with some, maybe some purple in it to match her tail or his tail, whatever. So that's what we're gonna do. So just get some more of your black color. I'm gonna put it near the blue teal because I'm gonna pull in some of that and kind of mix it a bit. You're gonna want probably, no, this is too big. Let me see what kind of brush I want for this one. Maybe this one. One of your round brushes, if you have it, that's like medium sized. Then we'll pull some more details in. So I'm just gonna take one of that and get some black, dip it in the blue a little too, and just kind of do the outline. No, this brush is way too big. I don't want it. Changing brushes. Sometimes you have an idea and it's not what you want. I'm gonna go back to this because this one is really working out to be a nice brush. This kind of flat one here. So we'll pick your black with a little blue or whatever color you've chosen for your hair. It is your picture. You pick however you want to paint it. And we're just gonna kind of do an outline. Let's see where her head should be. Let me start up a little higher this time. And just kind of outline it however you want. And then, because we're seeing them from the back, just wiggles. It's wild mermaid hair. Not have to be perfect. Just keep going with wiggling, you know, wiggling. That's how we do hair, wiggles. I'll pull in some of the teal now and just get a base going of curls. I'm going to use a smaller brush because this is not what I wanted. So I'm going to use this, no, that's too little. Can't decide. Maybe this one. I'll use this little round one. And just kind of wiggle it in. Just curls, curls, curls. Just flowy, flowy curls. Down their back. Off out into the wild. And you're just squiggling it, like, to get the background going, because it's curls. And then we'll pull in some detail with their hair. So I don't know if you can see where we're at so far. I'll bring it up so you see better. But, I know, just beautiful flowing mermaid curls. I'm going to bring them down a little longer to cover more of the body that I didn't love how I did. And just keep going, however you want, however long or short you want your mermaid's hair to be. Maybe do a little loops up, you know, some loopy curls here. Once I add detail, because I want to get the base in, you know, I'm going to add some detail to these curls. I just want to get the background covered because, you know, we can see the background through some of it, but not completely. When we want this thick head of curls going on. So once you're satisfied with however many curls, or not, if you don't do curls, that's alright too. Again, this is your portrait, your mermaid. Can look however you choose for him to look, or her to look, or them to look. That is the beauty of art. As you make it how you like. So, there's our base for our curls. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to pull in some more detail to the curls and add some more of the blue and maybe a little purple. And I'm going to straighten out the body a little bit. And then we'll work on some scales and some outlining. But if you got this far, you're doing great. Alright, let me fix this to look, do a little darker brown. Actually, no. Yeah, I'll do that after. I'm going to pull in my lovely metallic. I have this great metallic colors that I love, which is a bronze. Because our mermaids are magic and are shiny. Because we like shiny. I mean, I like shiny. I don't know about everybody else, but... So, we just pull a little of this bronze and kind of do the next layer of the... I'm going to mix it with the gold because it's kind of a... And I'm trying to hurry up. I know we're almost out of time. If anybody's still watching. I'm just talking to myself. So I'm going to mix the bronze and the gold to make it more of a brown. Maybe pull in some of the brown. And just kind of go over what I did here with that to really make it more shiny. Because mermaids are shiny because they're magical. And also, the beauty of this is that the shine and the next layer, I think, will kind of disguise some of our flaws that we made. Not that we need to disguise flaws, because flaws are beautiful and everybody has them, but you know what I mean. Alright, so we'll fix this arm up a little bit. With the gold. Her arms, his arms is really wonky, and I don't know why I did that, but it is what it is. They're done now. So we'll just accept it. So there we have it. We've done the body a little more. We'll go back over and do some scales maybe. And then outline. If you got this far, you're doing great. I'm not going to say bad things about what I did because I like it. It's beautiful. It's not my favorite, but it's fine. Alright. So for scales, we want a very tiny brush, which I don't know if I have, but I'm going to see what I have. Let's look at our brushes. See what we can make happen. Maybe this one. I think this will be a good one. So, for the scales, what I'm going to do is mix a little bit of the metallic in, because I think if she had metallic scales, that would be really cool. Well, painted, painted, painted. It's just the reality of paint night. So I'm gonna do some purple metallic scales. Don't need a lot of it because it's detail. I'm gonna try it. We'll see. I'm gonna just get a little bit on there. And we're gonna now it doesn't quite show up, but that's alright. That means we can muck it up if we do. So I'm just kind of painting scales to pop a little bit and blend this tail just for some detail. I might add some more darker because they're not really showing up real great. Just a little bit. Oh, it's very, very thin. Hold on. Very, very light. So make it darker, and then I don't want as much paint on my brush, so just kind of just making little dots. I'm not, and like alternating, you know, like so they're next to they're not directly under each other. See how that looks. Well, I'm not gonna do all of that on stream, but you can sort of see how, you know, I did the scales. I hope you can see it. Just in a darker color and just kind of dotting it down. I didn't do them very detailed like scales, but I think this will just give it a little more texture and make it pop a little more. So I will go back to that. I think after you can always continue on for yourself. And now, so what I will do to kind of round this out as we're coming up on the end, is do my outline of my tail again in the darker color, because it'll look better. So just outlining. It's alright if it blends a little. Oh, thank you, Captain. Nice work. Yes, it's not my most favorite, but thank you. Sorry, I'm breaking my own rules. We're not supposed to be talking bad about our portraits or our art. We're supposed to be saying nice things. Those were paint night rules. So I'm just going in and kind of outlining where I had painted over my initial outline. It'll look better to do that. And I used the mix of the darker purple with the metallic. If you have metallic, that's always nice, but if you don't, that's alright too. It doesn't have to be metallic. Oh no, that's too light. I need the darker. What is happening? Having a little bit of difficulty. There we go. I need them dark. There we go. Alright, I'm going to let that dry because otherwise I'm going to mess it up. And just do my edges here again. I know you can't really see, and I apologize for that. I will show you in just a minute. I made it too wavy. Oh Lord, I can fix it. We'll just come in here and so. Can also make it more of a shadow. I'm going to do that a little, blend it a little there. Now I do want my darker purple for this part because I want, if I have any left, to bring out kind of the sitting here, this line. But I'll blend it, shadow it, whatever you want to call that. Fix what I did there that messed up. So you do your outline, and I might leave it there until I add on you know, more scales, which you can do at the end, like I did. And you could outline the body again. That's what I need to do, actually. Hold on. Let me get rid of the purple. And we're going to pull in the darker brown, I think. See how that looks? Let's see. And just kind of outline this. Maybe mix a little of the browns, because that's a harsh contrast, I think. Too much of a contrast for an outline. So I'm just mixing the light brown that I used on the body with a darker brown for the outline. And then just kind of bring it down here. Fix her hand. I don't know what's happening with her hand, but I'm over it. It's going to look the way it looks. That was too light. We'll just kind of bring the outline shadow in for her arm, his arm, whatever you have decided. And be careful of the hair. We're going to bring a little bit of an outline into there. And I've kind of mucked it up, but that's alright. So yeah, you just go back through, kind of pull your outline in with a darker color if you'd like. And her body got little weird, but she's a magical creature. So, you know, they look how they look. Not perfect. I'm going to, I think, add some more detail with the smaller brush to the hair, and then we'll be done, because I think we've reached just about 9 o'clock, and I just broke my brush. That's cool. Whoops. So many messes today. It's broken. This was the one I liked the most. Oh well. Next, really quickly, before we end, I'm just going to show you, I'm going to pull in a little more of the hair detail. Pull in some green into the hair more, because I like that. And just, you don't want too much because it'll glob on for more detail. You just want to kind of, well, I need more than that, I guess. Whoop, whoop, kind of whoop in. It is mandatory to make that sound when you do it. I'm just joking. Just, you know, bring in some more detail to your hair with some wiggles, curls to make it pop. And I think that's it. Oh, thank you, Kadarja. It looks great. And the detail in the hair. I appreciate the nice words. Oh, no! Oh, no. It's alright. It survived. my paints just fell and I dropped this on me, but it does not seem like anything was too wet. I was trying to show you all a little closer. There's our mermaid, almost finished, or a mer person. And so what I will do later, as we've reached our 9 o'clock, is that I will take these kind of dots of the shiny darker purple to make the scales and probably bring it all the way down. What I might do though is not for the whole, like I might do it along the bottom just for more kind of shadow and like depth to it. I think will look really nicely. Kind of bring it here on her booty and then along the edge here and then maybe at the bottom. So it won't cover the whole thing, but it'll make it pop better. So there is our mermaid. I hope that everyone enjoyed our paint night and my, attempt at getting a little out of comfort zone and painting new things and painting our mermaid. So, yeah, there we are. And I'll post in the Discord once I add the last details that I want. But I'm pretty content with her as it is. I might let it dry and see before I decide anything else. But I'll make some more details for pop, for oomph, and post it in the Discord. So if anybody else, painted along or later goes back to rewatch and drew anything, did your version of a mermaid, I'd love to see them. I love seeing everyone's art. And so I would hope, you feel comfortable enough to post it in the Discord if you did. Or if you go back through and decide to do it. Yeah, Captain, let it dry before you throw it around anymore. That is the plan, I hope. But, tonight is very messy, wonky a little bit, so I'm trying not to throw it around anymore. Oh, Kodarjo, thank you. Thank you for being you. I try. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming and hanging out and, being helpful. I appreciate it. All right, well, it's a lovely night. I hope everyone has a rest of their Saturday is wonderful and a good rest of the weekend. And if you do decide to post anything in the Discord, if you want to post any ideas for what we should paint next, if we do another paint night, let me know. Now that we've done a few different kinds. If you have ideas, I'm open to them. And of course, if you did any art, I want to see it. All right. Well, have a good night. Thank you.